Hey guys, what's up? My name is Brandon, and welcome to another reaction video where I'm gonna be reacting to someone's Nuzlocke. Today, we're actually gonna be reacting to Captain Kidd. Now, if you don't know who Captain Kidd is, he's a hilarious guy who does mostly Smash Bros. Content, but he's also done a few Pokemon videos as well. I've seen some of his amiibo tournaments. He's trained a amiibo called SS tier for Meta Knight, I don't know. But today, we're going to be taking a look at his very first hardcore Nuzlocke that he, I assume, completed, judging from how the title is, How I Survived My First Hardcore Nuzlocke. So let's dive right into this, shall we? And if you guys are excited for this reaction, then be sure to hit that like button down below for me, give me a thumbs up. I don't really care, but if you do, subscribe because it really helps on my channel, and let's get into the reaction. Oh yeah, that's this is the most infamous moment in all of Nuzlocking history. No questions asked.
What did I say? What did I say?
I thought that's sturdy.
No,
yep,
dude.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. And
I
so
am.
did about 4 million other people.
What did I say, Brayden? What did I say?
Oh, let's go A Drive.
What did I say?
There's so many YouTubers that reacted to this.
We learned not to listen to our friends' advice.
Let's go MJ TV, Patters,
I do,
and
I can't.
Of
but if you have
course.
the quick claw, yeah.
Yeah.
that was the funniest thing in the entire video. No questions asked. It's so fucking funny.
If only he had that quick claw. So after spending a night crying over
Copium.
people being mean on the internet, I had a realization. Wait.
Now, with that being said, I do want to preface this that I feel like that after that video went off, like, people probably sent a lot of hate towards Captain Kidd. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know if this is true, and I'm gonna say this right now. Please do not harass Brayden because of the admittingly stupid play that he did. I think it's funny, but it doesn't get funny when you just go and harass someone and try to ruin their life about it.
Wait a minute. These people are all babies. I know more than these kids when it comes to Pokemon. Heck.
That, on the other hand, is not true.
I bet most of them weren't even alive when this game came out.
Actually, that is untrue. I was born on December 7th, 2002. So pretty much, it's like a few days after Ruby Sapphire. Kinda wild.
I decided to put my pride on the line and do a Nuzlocke of my very own. In the
Let's go,
exact
dude.
same game where Mewtwo the Onyx once stood.
Oh
now,
my.
I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you already know the general rules to a Nuzlocke from that video. But I decided to put my Pokemon skills to a tougher test by attempting a hardcore Nuzlocke. Which just means that it's all the normal Nuzlocke rules that you know and love, with the added challenge that I can't use items in battle and I have to set a level cap for each gym to the same level as the leader's ace. If you want the full rules, just read the description or something, I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's right. Reading the description, that's fun to do. But it does help out to read. It does help to read, apparently. Yes, it does.
And if you're already down there, why don't you hit the subscribe button? So with a goal in sight and a chip on my shoulder, I embarked into the world of Pokemon to begin my journey. With that out of the way, we're free to go out and explore all that Kanto has to offer. Okay, but not until Professor Oak gives us our first Pokemon.
True, dude. I still don't know why that Professor Oak is just like, hey, don't go into the... I can do what I want. I might die doing it, but that probably means, hey, it's my fault that I did that, not yours. Why are you involving yourself in my business?
Obvious reasons, I went with Squirtle here. I now have the cap to my kid who
Okay, interesting choice. I personally think that Bulbasaur is the best starter in this game. Squirtle's not bad either. He has a pretty good matchup against the first gym. Second gym I think is going to be a little harder, but I think Squirtle gets Bite. Then the third gym, while you do get Diglett, is going to be really, really, really hard. Because, like, again, it's Squirtle, and plus, like, I don't feel like you get that many water types beforehand. Except for maybe Psyduck. I don't know.
Immediately proceeds to make quick work of Mario's Bulbasaur, so any fears of exposing myself as a fraud in my first battle
I get it. I get the reference of Mario because Luigi was Alpharad's rival in Fire Red Leaf Green, which, by the way, you should check that video out too, because that's where the Onyx death came from.
Post Onyx killing are immediately snuffed out. Now it was truly time to set off on my adventure through the Kanto region. And I've gotta say, things started off exceptionally well. Almost too well. Our first encounter was a max level Pidgey that we named Messiah, who also happened to have an attack boosting nature. I had a lot of faith in our Route 1 savior.
Nice.
Route 2, we get another solid encounter in Remy the Rattata, and with Messiah by my side, I feel confident that Mario will be a pushover.
Okay, so here's a problem with that rival fight in particular. That is a completely optional rival fight. You do not need to do this fight whatsoever. So you're probably going to be losing a Pokemon here right now. And also, I noticed that he's like setting up for a death. So it's probably that Pidgey, right?
At this point, he was. Time for the Route 22 encounter, and could this team...
On the other hand, sometimes my assumptions are just completely incorrect.
Get any better? We are going to breeze through this game with our girl power. We welcome, Harambe to the team, and I don't think I could have asked for a better batch at this point in the run.
Yeah, it's not
bad. For the last encounter before Brock's gym, I end up catching Kai the Weedle, and my entourage of girls is ready to swoon Brock out of a gym badge.
That's
Until
funny.
disaster struck. While
Really?
grinding up Harambe on wild Pokemon, my authentic Nintendo licensed Game Boy froze up on me while fighting a random Rattata. Foolishly, I hadn't saved my game yet, so the one that was looking so promising came to an abrupt end. A team destined to cruise to...
not how you want to lose that. That is such a good team, though. Oh my god, that hurts. I've actually lost a few files, like, just because, like, oh, they froze. Most recently, this happened in my White 2 Kaizo thing that I made in my very limited knowledge of ROM hacking, where in one of the Team Plasma fights, my game actually froze, so I had to do all of that shit again. So that's a rip. And I mean, to be fair, it's not gonna be that bad like for here right now, because he hasn't even gotten the first gym yet.
To victory taken away by my own poor decision.
That being said,
yet
his
again.
grinding
To
is
those
gonna
fallen
go to waste.
comrades that will never have their stories told, we will always remember you. So, after bawling my eyes out over the best pre-Gym 1 Nuzlocke team I've ever had, it's time to start
Nice
over.
Pokemon
Same
Conquest
old
music.
song and dance, so I'll keep the recap brief. High Oak, Bye Oak, pick up No Cap the Squirtle, destroy Mario 2 in a battle, catch a level 3 Pidgey, let your Pidgey die. Wait, Pidgey didn't die in the first run. Needless to say, after having such a successful start to my last run, I was a little bit impatient with trying to get back to the point where we had been, so I had
So right there, he said right there he was like not being patient. Like one of the hallmarks of a good Nuzlocker is you being patient. You should be really, really careful as to what you're doing. Try not to let your emotions get in the way of you Nuzlocking and stuff. So yeah.
Some very unfortunate losses that wouldn't have happened if I was being careful the same way I was during the first
That too, you have to
run.
watch your crit range.
Okay, now let's get back to where we were. Crit the Rattata. God damn. Catch a Rattata.
On the other hand, so I'm guessing this is attempt 3. That's what I'm guessing at least. But he crit the Rattata that he wanted to catch and just start a new attempt is what I'm guessing.
lose a Rattata. Okay, maybe I am bad at this game. And lastly, catch ourselves a bug. Finally, we made it out alive. With 3 less Pokemon than the first time, granted, but we are alive and saving this time. Between No Cap and Bad Girl, I'm still confident that I can pull this one out. I just need to be more careful. Now this is where the true run begins. Right before the first gym, no more excuses. That promising team that we once had is now a relic of the past. Luckily, I still have Squirtle as my starter, so Brock is a complete blowover, and I managed to get my first Onyx Slaughter, which I know you're happy to see. With the Boulder badge in hand, it's time to make our way to Cerulean City and hopefully pick up a few more team members along the way, because as good as Squirtle has been so far, we're going to need some help to cover his weaknesses. Our next encounter ended up being a Spearow that we named after a chatter. He was no Messiah, but this bird would have to do. Time for our Mount Moon encounter, and we get a Zubat. I mean, what else did I really expect?
Zubat is amazing, dude. And especially since this is a Gen 3 game, you're able to get Crobat. Crobat is fantastic as a Pokemon, dude. Ridiculously fast Pokemon. It also has a really good typing. It has really strong attacks as well. Wing Attack, people sleep on Wing Attack being really, really, like, strong, honestly. People sleep on it. So, honestly, great encounter. Although Geodude would have been pretty decent as well. But considering that you're going up against a Water-type gym, I'd say Zubat is the best encounter in this cave.
Here. My team keeps getting weaker and weaker to electric types, so not getting a Geodude here was a huge bane to the team's composition. That being said, yeah, true. Unfortunately, our journey with Kaibat would not be long-lived.
No, you lost to Zubat.
Without a plan ended up in me locking eyes with a random trainer. Meet Super Nerd Joven, who has 2 electric types.
Oh no.
I had no answer for this. Magnemite was the hardest counter to my team at this point. With a Wartortle, Beedrill,
you have to go into
Zubat,
Wartortle is the thing that hits them
to this piece of scrap metal. To get around it, I knew that sacrifices were imminent. No Cap was my only option to hit Magnemite for neutral damage. So which Mon would I have to place on the altar, allowing Wartortle in for free? Even though she had just joined us for our journey, Kaibat was the most expendable option. So
I guess that is something that you could do. That is something that you could do. She had served us well,
though, as this was the free switch that we needed to get in No Cap, who came in with fiery vengeance to secure the kill, and it's still alive. No Cap was the one Pokemon that I needed to protect at all costs, so I couldn't risk hitting myself in confusion and dying, meaning I had to say goodbye to one more of our friends. Both of my partners had to give themselves for us to get past this titan named Joven, but in the end, I was able to safely bring out No Cap to finish the job. Our first big moment of adversity overcome with just 2 members remaining. I beat up some measly Team Rocket grunts, grab the dome fossil, and get out the cave, leaving behind the remains of our 2 fallen soldiers who gave their lives so that the run could continue. On the bright side, I believe you get a new encounter. Being left with an oversized turtle and a small bird, another encounter with electric type, and my attempt dies alongside my Pokemon. Enter Mashru, the undisputed people's champ of the run. Our Route 4 encounter was truly a godsend. Mashru would be a force to carry us through many of our next toughest roadblocks, but maybe not our very next roadblock. Before I could take on Misty, I had to go through Mario first. With the team still recovering from a near-death experience in Mount Moon, I had to hope that our 3 team members would be enough to get through our rival and add a couple more key members to the team. No Cap was able to take out Pidgeotto with relative ease, so Mario 2 decided it was the time to throw out the big guns and swap in his Bulbasaur next. Good thing I have a trusty flying type on my team. Oh my god, I accidentally swapped in Mashru. Oh, that was terrifying. Luckily, I was able to swap in Maton and avert that small catastrophe like the true Pokemon expert that I am. Mashru edges his name in the Captain Kid Nuzlocke lore by getting his first kill and leading us to a crucial victory over Mario 2. Clearing out the trainers on Nugget Bridge allowed Maton 2 to transform from a small bird to a big bird, and more importantly, opened up 2 more routes for potential encounters.
More encounters?
I had my sights on Bellsprout, and with a 25% encounter rate,
You
I
didn't
got
get it.
my counter to Misty's gym. Cuphead the Bellsprout has
Wow.
joined the party, and I promise not to ruin the image of Cuphead for any of you ever again. Because of Dupe's claws, our next encounter was either
That
going
is
to
terrifying,
be a Caterpie or an Abra, and you can guess which one we were getting. So Bad Boy replaces our fallen
You got
soldier Bad
Caterpie.
Girl, and with my
Copium.
new Fantastic Five, it was time to claim our next gym badge.
What about me?
Oh yeah, that's right. After doing everything in my power not to kink shame Bill, I trekked back to Celadon City where Misty was
That's
waiting
funny.
for us. I've got to be honest and say I wasn't worried in the slightest. Cuphead managed to land a sleep powder on the 1st
Let's
turn, which
see.
allowed
Let's
him to
see
get
this.
absolutely massive. With the
That's
additional
really
stat
good.
boosts, Cuphead managed to easily win us our second gym badge, and I decided to reward him by letting it evolve.
Good job.
Cuphead has evolved into nature's fleshlight Weepinbell. I guess I'm a pathological liar, and I've now associated Cuphead with something much
My
worse.
God, never ever show me that image ever again. Please, for the love of God, never ever do that.
Matt Shrew had truly opened up the run and was now our brightest star on the team. Before catching him, everything looked bleak and the smell of victory was distant. But now with 2 gym badges
You're
in hand and an
fine.
electric type gym leader on the horizon, it was time for Matt Shrew's light to shine even brighter. Another star was born when Bad Boy evolved into a Butterfree on the road to Vermilion City. Newly equipped with compound eyes and sleep powder, this bad boy can get us through just about any tough situation. After passing up the
Yeah.
opportunity of a lifetime to spend
Sounds
$500 to buy
beautiful.
some smelly fish off an old man in a hospital, I put my life on the line and hooked up a Magikarp of my own. This
Oh,
Pokemon
wow.
would help set the mood for the rest of the run, and the team was
Mood. I
really
love
starting
that
to take
name.
some serious form. It's hard to believe that not too long ago we were struggling to get through one tiny bat-filled cave. Like all good, responsible...
Actually, yeah, you could have just gotten the Magikarp in the Pokemon Center before Mount Moon. I'm curious why you didn't do that. I'm guessing you were slightly tilted.
Young parents who aren't ready to have a child in their early 20s, I left my kid with an
I'm never gonna have a child, dude. I do not want to have a child.
older adult. See, they always turn out just fine. Before boarding a massive cruise liner with our brand new sea monster, I made sure to give Matt Shrew the little boost he needed to reach his full potential.
Look
now
at
it was
that.
time to go board a ship so we could get rid of that pesky roadblock in front of the next gym. There's nothing like taking in some warm sun rays on a beautiful ship out in the ocean. Mario 2, what are you doing
Jeezums.
here? Well, this time Matt Shrew won't let your little Rattata get away so easily. He's going to bury it into the ground. Oh my god, I didn't think I would actually kill it. After getting a back rub from a 10-year-old child,
That's
the
funny.
old sailor gives us HM01 cut, and we can finally make our way to Lieutenant Surge's gym. I felt even more confident about this gym than any of the previous 2 because this is what Matt Shrew was made for.
Wait, did you? Oh, I was gonna say, did you got the Diglett's Cave encounter? Did you? All right, thank God. I thought because we didn't see it on screen, maybe unless we did and I just forgot completely. Then like, oh God, he was going in without a Diglett's Cave encounter. Oh well.
Decided to bring our little Diglett friend along just as a plan B, which may or may not be illegal at the time of this video's posting. But she would not be needed. Despite this lieutenant's best efforts to induce his
I'm
own
not gonna go
wartime
into
PTSD
that.
ghosts on Matt Shrew, he was able to pick out the real Raichu from the imposters and complete the sweep, earning us our 3rd gym badge. All of the
Nice.
doubters were
Look at
starting to
that.
look like fools with how easy I was making this game look. And because of that, it's time for me to introduce to you the special rule that I came up with for this Nuzlocke.
Ooh.
The Kid Clause. What's the Kid Clause, you ask? Well, it's quite simple, actually. I have to use Onyx. Yep.
Hey.
That's it. Considering this entire escapade was all started with an Onyx, I felt it was important that I showed the world that not only could I beat a Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke, but I could do it with the Pokemon that everyone thought I knew nothing about. Rock Tunnel is the first location that
funny.
Onyx became available to me, so I made the long trek back through Cerulean to get to the point where everything would change. Surrounded by the darkness, I looked for my Onyx, and finally, after a little bit of searching, there she was. There was only
That is
one
really
name I
cool.
could choose for our
That is
long last
really
that would
cool
constantly
animation, by the way.
remind me of the entire reason I was here. I mean, there's gotta be some comedic irony in there somewhere.
That's
My team
funny.
was really starting to take form. I felt that all of these Pokemon, either by necessity or choice, could end up being on the team long term and playing crucial roles in my eventual victory. And since we just arrived in Celadon, the Game Corner gave me a unique opportunity to pick up a Pokemon I might not otherwise think to use,
Is it
like
Porygon?
Abra, Dratini, or...
Oh, right. Ooh.
I left it up to my viewers to decide which Pokemon I should go with, and being the kind fans that they are, they, of course, picked out a Pokemon whose power could rival that of even the strongest legendary in the game. Porygon.
True.
They picked Porygon. This was unfortunate for two reasons. Number one, it's a
Oh,
Porygon.
man.
Number two, it costs 6,500 coins.
So you
meaning I'm
have
going to
to spend
develop
a lot of
gambling
time,
addiction
right?
just to get this
In the-
one Pokemon. Well,
Damn.
you know what comes next. Cue the slots montage. Actually, I wasn't feeling it at the time, so we'll save Porygon's story for later. I wanted to
Ooh,
strengthen
okay.
my team just a bit before facing Erica's gym,
New
so I
encounter?
traveled through Route 16 to pick up Fly for Maton 2, and in a moment of innocence, I walked up to this seemingly unassuming couple.
Oh no.
Oh.
Considering these two were higher
This is
levels than
looking
my entire
really
team, and I had
bad,
just
huh?
boxed my water-type starter in favor of my HM slave, I was pretty convinced that this could be the end of the run. Thankfully, Mashru and
You're
Moo
fine,
were
you're
able
fine.
to prevent an astronomical disaster from transpiring
fine.
during what
Gyarados
this couple
and
considered
Sandslash
a
are really
romantic
good.
date. With Fly now safely secured, I walked into Erica's gym and let Maton 2 run wild like an out-of-control weed whacker. Oh god, the carnage. We had officially collected
That is scary.
half of the gym badges.
Yeah, Firo just
Something
completely
that Zink
eats
here
through it.
didn't think was possible. After defeating the
That's funny.
grass-type gym leader, I thought it would be okay to finally add our 4 times weak to grass Rock Snake to the party. Unfortunately, that meant that someone would have to be replaced.
Yep.
And taking a close look at our team, there was one Pokemon that seemed to fill the exact same role that Sturdy would. With a heavy heart and a mauling swarm of viewers, I decided it was time to put Matt Shrew in the PC for good, where he could live a peaceful life and avoid death's embrace. Now it was
Rip.
time to go see what nefarious activities Team Rocket was up to underneath the game corner, and after making quick work of Giovanni's team with our 2 water types, we picked up the Sylph Scope and headed back to Lavender Town to visit our rivals Dead Raticate. I rescued
Nice.
Mr. Fuji from Team
Based.
Rocket, and he rewards me with a musical instrument. Do I look like I know how to use this thing? The
Yep.
answer, of course, is no. But I do know how to use these.
I assume
it finally
wrong.
felt like the proper time to add Porygon into the mix. After all of that hard work, I didn't want to just drop 6,500 coins on Porygon only for its corpse to rust away in the PC. No. I
You're gonna
wanted to
use it?
actually use this thing. So I came up with a perfect strategy for it. As you may know, Dark and Steel type were both added to Pokemon in Generation
Right.
2. Dark was largely added to counter the overpowered Psychic type Pokemon, and
True.
uh-oh, there's a whole gym with Psychic types coming up. With Fire Red and Leaf Green being remakes of Generation 1, however, there are no Dark or Steel types available to be found in pre-post game Kanto. Well, besides this retconned little guy. With no Dark type available to catch, there wasn't a single Pokemon completely immune to Sabrina's team. Except one. That's right, Porygon. Now, let me explain. Porygon has a signature
conversion?
move called
Yeah.
Conversion,
It's
which
gonna turn you
allows
to
it
Dark
to
type?
transform into one of the types of the various moves that it holds. And luckily for us,
Oh.
Porygon learns exactly one Dark type move, Thief. Conveniently, I had a spare copy of the TM,
So what you're
I
telling
fed
me
it
is
to
you're gonna
Minecraft,
teach
and
it
voila,
to
Dark
the
Porygon was
Porygon
born.
and
Now,
use
would also
conversion.
be a good time to mention that I had been EV training all of my unique choices. You can look into effort values on your own time if you're unaware, but the TLDR for this type of training is that you beat up a lot of little Pokemon to make certain stats stronger. In the case of our
Okay,
team, we
I
had
like
some
it.
Pokemon with stats that certainly left something to be desired. I maxed out
Definitely.
Sturdy's attack and speed to make up for those lackluster
Okay.
offensive skills. To make Minecraft as powerful as possible, I wanted to max out its special attack, meaning that without Surf and access to the power plant, the only way to do this was to search over and over and over again for Abra on routes 24 and 25, and with only a 15% encounter rate, this took hours. Needless
I'll
to
say, patience.
I
I
had
like
spent
it.
so much time with these two that I would be absolutely devastated if anything were to ever happen to them. I am getting a little bit ahead of myself though.
That's actually really cool. He showed a lot more patience there. So EV training, yeah, like he explained, is where if you beat up a if you make a Pokemon faint, they will give effort values that pertain to probably their highest stat. So for Abras, it's going to be special attack, and yeah, he had to find a lot of those, and considering how rare they are, pretty good patience. And that's another thing. Personally, I ban EV training because like rare candies are like more useful for me, because it creates content more frequently. Grinding is boring, nobody wants to watch it. And yeah, I noticed that he grinds in this Nuzlocke, so I don't know, you play however you want to play. Although I will say, I did notice that Captain Kidd is going to, he actually is hardcore Nuzlocking Emerald Kaizo as I am recording this video. So he's probably going to have to use rare candies at this point.
Because there are still some minor, pretty major tasks that I had to take care of before we could even think of stepping foot in Sabrina's gym. My awful music skills were able to throw this Snorlax into a rage, so I swiftly put that to rest by stuffing its big fat belly inside my tiny little ball. We gladly welcome Pablo on board, but this squad already has its token normal type. After sweeping through a gang of bikers with my beautiful Butterfly, I made it to Fuchsia City to pick up Surf and take on Koga.
Still on the
if
team.
You couldn't tell, I'm really trying to delay this Sabrina fight for as long as possible. With my current squad, Koga was going to be a pushover.
That's funny.
Yep. We swept his team with a Butterfly. The only thing left to delay the inevitable now was snuff out Team Rocket's plans at Sylph Co. 11 floors, 1 Lapras, and a Master Ball later, it was finally time to take on Sabrina's gym. My Porygon strategy would be put to the test. I had done a lot of hypothesizing, but hypotheses are no good without any data to back them up. And as we all know, nothing bad ever happens in Sabrina's gym. The first experiment was an overwhelming success. Porygon was able to immediately turn into a Dark type, and there was absolutely zero threat of me losing. However, there were some flaws with the strategy.
And we can recover, and now we
Ooh.
Now we just spam recover until we're out of that. Okay, there we go.
He encores you.
Please. This was unfactored in the situation.
What transpired next, however, could not have been predicted by any fortune teller.
That's okay, Minecraft.
Did you get Destiny bonded?
Destiny bond. Please hit yourself.
Oh my god, that is so heartbreaking.
Oh no. Our strategy. No, Minecraft!
Why didn't you switch out?
All this time and effort meticulously poured.
I'm curious why you didn't switch out. Blastoise would have easily handled the Mr. Mime.
Of all people? With an extremely heavy heart, I had to box my failed science experiment and picked up the Pokemon that the experts are saying is all the rage. However, my crippling depression couldn't keep me away from the gambling addiction I had developed, so back to the slots was for me. Fortunately, it all worked out in the end, as this extra gambling meant I could think of a Shadow Ball TM to teach to Pablo that would ensure that truly nothing bad ever happens in Sabrina's gym.
I see that you're implored
Alpha Red, let's go.
Than what I preferred of not being drastically under leveled. So let's see what this does.
That's funny.
Well, okay, fuck you, buddy. All right, I'm gonna go.
Nothing could ever replace the void in my heart that was left by Minecraft, but breezing through the Sabrina fight with our newfound chonkers certainly helped heal the wounds that had been left. This story would have been very different if it weren't for Channeler Tasha, but there is still much to be etched into the lore of this Nuzlocke, so we didn't have time to dwell on our seizure-inducing science project. Anyways, it was finally time for us to take on the man whose hair had been scorched off by the Pokemon he uses. And because I don't trust my Pokemon knowledge anymore for some reason, I just decided to value brawn over brains and brute force my way through the gym by melting every gym trainer with my oversized water dragon. With barely a scratch, my team and I were now just one gym badge away from the summit of this long journey. Things had been relatively easy up to this point, and it only proceeded to get easier as we headed for the easiest gym leader in all of Kanto.
Yep, you can just
our boy
spam
Bill
water
hit
type
us up to run some monotonous errands for him on some random islands, and yeah, we may have killed some massive
Ooh.
Firebird that was blocking our way or something, but who's keeping track? Finally, we returned to Viridian City, where
don't
things
gotta
had
do
come
that.
full circle as our starter was now all grown up and swept his way through yet another gym.
Yep, that's
so
easy.
after foiling Giovanni's plans for the last time, there was only one thing left for us to do: claim our redemption by
It's
becoming
time.
the champion of
Let's
the Kanto
go.
region.
Let's go for
But
the Elite
much more
Four, dude.
importantly, defeat that jinx. The team before embarking on the final leg of the journey made me realize that we might have been lacking in some departments. While half the team was made up of some of the most
Come
powerful
on.
monsters in the region, the other half was, well, underwhelming to say the least.
You literally
Without
have
these
Onyx
three,
right
we wouldn't
there.
have ever gotten to this point. But to reach our ultimate destination, we had to make a change. So with a heavy heart, I decided that it was best for the team to say bye-bye to Bad Boy the Butterfree.
Nice reference to Bye Bye Butterfree. That's actually a really beautiful reference. I like it. Oh, this music actually gets me in the feels a little. Really good.
I'm taking Bad Boy to the end with me. Bad Boy and I we're like this.
Aw, that doesn't help. That, on the other hand, is really funny.
There was only one Pokemon that I would be willing to give up a spot for this late in the run, which just so
Okay.
happens to be one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Magneton. And since this was
Magneton's
the last
not
Pokemon
bad.
we'd ever catch, there was no need for this thing anymore. Joe joined the party and all the
job.
pieces were in place to complete our Nuzlocke puzzle. Mario 2 tried stopping us in our tracks, but we proved that he still had a lot to learn before taking on the absolute gauntlet of an Elite Four that awaited him past Victory Road. I
Yep.
showed off all my papers and only got violated by one of the guards on my way there, but I finally made it through to the Indigo Plateau. All of
Interesting.
our final preparations were made before entering the most terrifying escape room, including deciding who to teach TM26 to, and I know what you're thinking. Wow, that would be a perfect move to give to Gyarados considering its massive attack stat and
You gave it to Onyx.
I gave it to my Onyx. Newly equipped with Earthquake and most importantly a Quick Claw, Sturdy was as powerful as ever,
Yeah,
so I was
Earthquake
ready
is
to
way
cross
better
through
on
the point
Gyarados.
of no return. Typically, when playing a Pokemon game, the final boss comes after you defeat all of the Elite Four members. But my run was special. This run started with our champion. This was it. The moment
Alright,
of truth.
let's see how
Lorelei has
you
been a point of
beat the
ridicule for
Jinx.
an entire year, but this is where I changed the course of history. This is the only trainer capable of repairing my legacy. She started off as she always does by throwing out her Dugong, which was no worry for me as Jome
you
absolutely
can just
melts
Thunderbolt
through
it.
this Pokemon. One down, 4 remain. Next up, Cloyster. Even easier than before. Slow bro? More like no bro.
That's one of my favorite
Four
Pokemon, dude.
down, 1 remain.
There he
Backed
is.
against the wall, Lorelei
Right there she
finally
is.
pulls out her Exodia, the level 54 Jinx. A Pokemon that has cast the darkest shadow over my entire career. There was
Yep.
only one way to finish this. I set the stage with Jome by
Are you gonna beat it
paralyzing
with the
witch,
Onyx? Oh,
and then it was
no,
time.
dude.
Time for Onyx. Time for
Are you really gonna
redemption.
send
With
an
nothing
Onyx?
but
No,
pent-up rage
dude, you
built
can't
up
do
over an
this.
entire year and
You're gonna
thousands
die.
of berating comments,
You are gonna
the only
die,
way
dude.
to wipe this moment from everyone's collective conscience was to go boom.
What?
This was the only way that it could end. Going out with a bang, engulfed in the flames of war, a necessary evil that would end all suffering. An unbearably painful decision, but an unavoidable sacrifice to prove to the world that Onyx does kill Jinx. We all said our final goodbyes and carried on with a promise to not only Sturdy, but Mewtwo as well, that we would become the greatest champion that the Kanto...
Why did you have to do that? Why did you feel the need to do that? Okay, I guess. I mean, you could have just stayed it with Magneton and just killed it with Thunderbolt. But okay, I guess. That
region
works.
had ever seen. After the emotional outpouring that was fighting Lorelei, mistakes are prone to happen. Luckily, Bruno
able to
gave
see
me
the
an
rest of the
opportunity
team.
to
Hold
do
up.
what I do best, kill an Onyx. Then he let
Wow, good
Mood
job.
get set up with Dragon
Alright,
Dance.
Dragon Dance, let's
Only
go.
for me to get scared of his very next Pokemon and switch out expecting an attacking move.
It's gonna be Oh.
I ended up reversing the roles and let Machamp set up on us, leaving Maton 2 too
Is
weak
that
to
gonna
deal
kill?
the finishing blow with
Oh,
Drill
you're
Peck
dead.
and
You're
take a
dead. It's bulk up,
devastating cross chop that
boosted
led
cross
to its
chop. You're
death.
dead.
An entirely preventable death is never an easy pill to swallow, but there was no time to mourn as standing before us was a Machamp who just had a killer chest workout. Luckily, No Cap was
Yeah, I was
able
gonna
to
say
dodge a cross
Blastoise
chop and
is pretty
finish
good
off
here.
the Machamp with a surf, and the battle ends just how it started, with a dead Onix. With half of the Elite Four down and already a third of the team gone, things
Ooh.
could...
Okay, alright. So yeah, honestly, everything else is pretty decent. Fearo's pretty underrated, Onix is dog shit, and Magneton, I think it still can be good. Blastoise, it's your starter. It's actually, it might help against... No, he doesn't have Charizard anymore. What the fuck am I doing? You might honestly have an issue against the Venusaur in all honesty, unless you go into like Snorlax, which by the way, Snorlax and Gyarados, amazing encounters to have.
certainly be going better, but the mons that we had left were the cream of the crop, so I really wasn't worried. A giant bear throwing balls of shadows seemed like it would be an easy way to sweep through Agatha's team, but Agatha had other plans for me.
Ray. Confuse Ray.
No!
Oh!
I quit. By some stroke of luck, Pablo managed
Nice.
to find the right Gengar in the Sea of Illusions. Something tells me that our fallen partners might have had something to do with that. The rest of her team was a complete pushover when they weren't
Yep.
spamming double team, and all of a sudden we found ourselves one
There's
trainer
Lance.
away from the champion. Any trainer that wields an army of dragon-type Pokemon is instantly terrifying, but luckily the plan was in place to steamroll through his team with Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, a little paralysis made things a bit more difficult than they needed to be, and
Can't do
he's
that.
living on 1 HP. This battle is becoming unnecessarily hard, and we don't have any explosion gimmicks left to give us a free kill.
Yep,
Unlike
you could have
Lance's
just
Aerodactyl,
killed it
however,
with
I had the
a
foresight to bring
Magneton.
Magneton, and our last-minute addition was able to deal
Good
the
job.
final critical blow, and with that, I had made it to the very end. I was one battle away from completing this hardcore...
I will say, this video like breezes through the battles really quickly. Doesn't give me too much to commentate on, I feel like.
Nuzlocke challenge
let's
and
see.
retaking control over my legacy. This felt inevitable. I had already overcome the true final battle when I took out Jinx, so I just saw Mario 2 the same way that I'd always seen him. An
A
unworthy
pushover.
rival, incapable of laying claim to the throne of this region. Mario 2 shows his immediate lack of preparation by
Yep,
throwing his Pidgeot into my
Magneton. Let's go.
Magneton lusting for blood. So he
Thunderbolt.
then tries to hard counter me by throwing
Yep,
in his big
but then
scary
you go to
fire dog.
Blastoise.
Well, I'll raise you one better and counter with my giant water snake. In hopes that
guess
Rhydon can
Gyarados
right
works
all
there.
of his wrongs to this point in the
I still
battle,
think
he
that
goes for a
Blastoise would have
desperate
been better.
attempt at intimidation, and even that fails. Rhydon falls even easier than the first two. Completely forgetting all of the history we've had throughout this run, he believes that his Venusaur will finally be able to outdo my team, but it is no match for the
Ooh,
behemoth
Fire
that
Blast
is
on
Pablo.
Snorlax?
Everything is going
Not
exactly as I
the
planned.
thing
Just
that I
like
would have
said
done
before,
personally, but
this
it
battle
works.
seemed inevitable from the start. The challenge was already won when we defeated Jinx. Mario 2 was nothing more than a side character at this point. Unaware of the trauma this Snorlax caused to Sabrina, he tries using
Shadow
Alakazam
Ball.
as an answer, but we've all seen how this one plays out. Mario 2 makes one
All
final
right.
attempt by
Thrash.
thrashing
He's
about in a
locked
state
into
of
Thrash.
panic,
You can just
but there was
Thunderbolt.
no stronger counter to his final Pokemon than Joe. So after one last Thunderbolt,
Beautiful.
the battle was over. I had won. Overcome with a wave of emotion, I placed those 4 Pokeballs down one last time into the Hall of Fame where they would be legends forever. And as I
Wonderful.
walked out onto Indigo Plateau for the first time as League Champion, I just knew that I was being watched over as the final chapter in my hardcore Nuzlocke was written.
That's funny. That is really funny. That's actually a really good video. Wow, what a good video, honestly. I like the comedy that this video had. There's some decent plays. That Porygon strategy was super telling, but you couldn't use it, unfortunately. And again, like overall, I think it was really fun to watch. It was pretty good. Alright. Y'all have a good time watching this video. Oh,
Finally, it's over. No more Onyx comments. Whoa!
nope.
What the hell?
There it is.
Where did this come from? Is this thing on? Hello?
Oh.
Pokemon challenges?
Am I coming in? Hello?
Yeah, it's working, but what are
Wait.
you doing here?
Oh, it's you. It's the Onyx guy. I remember you. Yeah. that was a good.
Yeah, anyways, I did pretty well, right? No more mean comments?
Brayden, that's actually not going to be enough. To
Oh.
escape your legacy of being the worst Nuzlocker, you know what you have to do, right?
No. What? I'll do anything at this point.
You have to put your entire fist in your mouth, Brayden.
My entire fist?
Your entire fist.
I'm sorry!
You know what? That was actually a pretty good try, but I don't think that's going to be enough either. How about you try to beat an Emerald Kaizo Nuzlocke instead, huh?
There it
Okay,
is.
yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that sounds much better.
There it is. That's really funny. That's really cool. I'm actually super excited for that, and I will freak out the moment I see the video where it's just like how I survived a hardcore Nuzlocke in like Emerald Kaizo. That will be crazy, dude. But I'm gonna end off the video here. Be sure to check out the original video in the description below. Subscribe to Captain Kid. Please don't harass him over like the funny plays that he made in this video. So that's fun, fine and dandy. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.